All right, let's look at our first example. There's multiple ways I can do that. If I wanted to, as I showed you with the text file, I can copy this, copy, and go right into basics and then paste it right in. Of course, it hasn't been saved or anything, so I would have to save it, but I could run it if I wanted to and get a result down here. The other option I can do is just to navigate, open, grab my first one here, which is test.xq. XQ is the file extension we use for XQuery files. Be mindful that open it up in here and run it. I wish I could clear this result so you could see it. In fact, I'm just going to close out very quickly and open it right back up. Pull it over here, and we'll X out of that, and then we're going to open it up just so you can see it run and appear. Okay, so we haven't run it yet. We've got our code in here. As you can see, it does a lot of what Notepad++ does, where certain colors, like variables, are green. The X paths are black. Some of the other sort of variables are green. Again, X path black. Any of the flower expression, a lot of that's blue. And here on our prologue, that's blue. The attribute values are red. We've got more attribute values. Attributes meaning that they're in between two quotes. This is not really an attribute in the way that we've learned it in XML. So anyways, let's just break this down. We have a prologue. It's telling the processor that we're using XQuery version 3.0. We're going to declare a variable here. We're going to just call it XML. There's nothing special about it. Could call it anything, but I'm calling it XML here. And I'm grabbing a .xml file called National, and this is the National League for baseball. We looked at a little bit of baseball right at the beginning of the class, and we get to look at it a little bit more in some of these examples. We're going to grab this national.xml file, and using this doc command allows us to do that. And we're going to put it by setting it equal to and this colon sign. I think we can have a space in there just so you can see a little bit better. And set that equal to the variable XML. And we have our little string there which tells us that. Moving on in our flower, our first flower is the F here, 4. So what we're going to do here is we're going to, in XML, we're going to grab all the player nodes and put those inside another variable called person. So we've kind of used our XML variable for what we need to do, and now we've got it in a new variable called person. Here we're going to do our let, so we're in the FL flower part. Here we're going to basically set a condition, and we're going to say qualify is going to, we're creating another variable, but we're also kind of setting up our program, so there's a condition here. So we're going to set qualify equal to 500. So now the integer is in 500 is in qualify, and then we're going to set up some criteria here on what we want from our all of our nodes that we're having retrieved. So we're going to say where. Okay, well, qualify is equal to 500, so that's 500 that's in there, and anything that's greater than or equal to 500 is going to be basically used or part of our resulting node set when we're done, when we get down here. So in at bats, and let's just open up our XML file so we can just get a look at it quick. We're using National League. I'm going to right click on that and open it up with Notepad++. And just look at one record, if you will. We have a player, that's the parent, and then in here we've got a bunch of nodes or elements. So we have rank, name, team, at bats is AB, R for runs, H for hits, HR for home runs, RBI is for runs batted in, SO strikeouts, average is their batting average, and the WAR is walks and runs, I think, average. That's a newer statistic that, to be honest, I don't know what it means, and we're not going to use it, so don't worry about it. But I can look that up another time, but that's a newer statistic that gets used. So here, that's basically what our XML file looks like. You can see it's just repeating data after that. We have league as our root node. All right, so let's go back to our basics. And so what we're doing is grabbing all these player nodes. Okay, we're going to grab all these players, and we're going to put them in person. And then we've created this other variable, set it equal to 500, and then we're going to go through and grab all of our players, and we're grabbing each player. We're going to look at this element for each player, which is at bats, right here, and we're going to say we only want persons with at bats that are greater than 500. So that means that they've basically played an entire season. We don't want to deal with the players that only batted 10 times or did a pinched hit for someone a few times. We want the people who have been basically players who have played every game through the season, or a full season. So we've done that. We've separated out all the players of ones that have either had 500 at bats or more, and created that node set. That's now in person, and now what we're going to do is take person of this node set, and we're going to sort it by average, which is our batting average, if you remember here. So batting average is basically how often they get on base. Anything over 300 is quite good. So we're going to basically take our ones, our so-called best hitters. They're going to be at the top, and then the not as good hitters will be at the bottom. They'll be ranked there, and we're going to return it by person. So we're just going to click run here, run the query, and then down here is where we get our results. Over here you get like a time, and there's basically some kind of operational information about like how the actual query was run. If you're having like a high performance program and you need to know like how your queries work out, how your queries are performing, over here is where you might want to look at that. We will not be looking at that in this class. This is what we're interested in. So up here we have Johnny Peralta. He played for St. Louis, and he has his average is 263, and it should maybe it's going ordering but going up though. Yeah, it's going up, so we have the lowest starting and then going up from there. Should be that way. Yeah, so 315 is up here. Josh Harrison, yeah, 314. So anyways, we have a node set. It's actually quite small of the hitters that are over 500 at bats that have that played that year in the National League. So here's our node set, and that's our first query.